Hey guys, Adam Perry here with TrueDFS. I am going to use SaberSim to go over tonight's big 8-game NHL DFS slate. Why do I say big? 8 games is not that big, and the games themselves aren't that great. We've got some star power out in Matthews and Hughes, but we've got a 222 with 100K up top, which we do not get often for NHL DFS. So it is a big slate. The contests are good, at least by the standards that we normally get. So it is exciting, and it should be a good, fun day. So we'll use SaberSim, play-by-play sims, and contest sims to run lineups. What's up, T-Pope? And before that, we'll do a hand build. People love to see it. It is fun. It's not how I build my lineups. I'm going to tend to trust SaberSim, but we will we'll still build by hand just to take a look at projections. It's given us an idea, I think, of where chalk stands, and it helps us get to know some of the no ball or no puck kind of stuff. What's up to you too, Eagles? So, I'd say the slate, the only thing to keep in mind is there are at least two kind of newsworthy items. Just looking over the news right here. Okay, Will Borgen is a game time decision. That's a small thing, but if you're MMEing, you might get to him. But then let's find this Jersey news. Keith said Hamilton, Brown, Donovan, Dillon will all be game time decisions. Okay, this Hamilton thing is a big deal because I assume if he's in, he's getting 25 minutes and he's taking it away from Simone Nemec, who's projecting as like a really good value. And so if Hamilton plays, that's going to change things on Nemec a lot, I think. And I don't think, we'll see where DFO has it, but we'll see if they have him in. And I think it is, yeah. So if he's in, he's going to take power play 1. Otherwise, Luke Hughes might go to power play 1. So they're like kind of good values. It's not like a great spot for them, but they're kind of good plays. And then Nemec will get power play time too, and just a lot more ice time. So this is all iffy. Same with Dillon. I mean, if Dillon is out and Hamilton is out, then Nemec gets a ton of ice time and takes that value. So you're going to have to look out for that around lock. I was getting a healthy dose of Nemec when I ran earlier, so I think that's kind of important. I think I'm going to allow 3 stacks and 4s tonight, focusing mainly on power plays. Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I leave it as is. I don't say I want the power play or the even strength, but yeah, go for it. Experiment with things. See how your EV is post lock. We could take a look too. What was it? Let me know what contest that was you played in last night, and we'll take a look at how the EV was and how that matched up with the takedown, which was nice to see in Discord. So yeah, if we're looking at projections, no one really bunches up, which is there's probably not like overwhelming chalk on this slate. It does seem to me from listening to the tea leaves that like Dallas and Winnipeg will get owned. They look like good plays. Dallas is kind of bunching here to some extent. We'll see if you could fit them. But if you want to go like Dallas power play, we'll see how hard it is to get them in. Just see who's projecting best at goalie. Igor. Okay, yeah. I mean, Igor's good, right? You got a little bit left. You could go with like a Sam Steele and just onslaught it if you want. You could go with like a Lindell. So I don't know. It tells me Dallas is good, but they're pretty expensive. You can't just like jam the power play even with a cheap goalie. So first in the 300 Clapper. Okay, we'll take a look at that after we build lineups. T-Pope. Nice job, by the way. Nice takedown. I DM'd you. Take a look at that when you get a chance. 8th in the 2K Enforcer 5 max. Okay, we'll take a look at both of those. So I don't know, this Dallas thing. I mean, if it says to me Dallas is 2-mans and 3-mans seems more valuable, all this sort of stuff that's popping up as the good values is also like not terribly cheap. Who Who else comes? Detroit kind of jumping here a little. Utah. Detroit can create. I mean, I was getting them earlier in the day. Obviously, I'm going to build like 10 minutes before lock, but if you wanted to play Detroit power play, it's so cheap. Say we correlated with whoever the goalie is. Just say it's Gibson right now. You got plenty, man. You could do like the Nemec value if you want. You could probably go lower. There's a lot of like cheap power play one guys. Oh, I forgot the other piece of news. That's what I think. There's another cheap option potentially. So if you look at Sharks lines, we're not going to know this probably till game time because they didn't practice special teams. But Klimberg's out, and he's out at power play 1. So this is no longer Klimberg. So the question is, does it become Dickinson? And if it's Dickinson, you have a 2,500 power play quarterback on like a halfway decent team. So it's something to consider here, right? And I don't know. Let's see if we're getting a Klimberg projection as of now. No, we don't get the Klimberg projection. Let's see who we have on power play 1 though for San Jose. Right, so they're projecting Orlov. Orlov will be a great value too. If it's Dickinson, it's an even better value. So you got to look out for that. If you do have some Orlov in your lineups, you have to think, do you drop down to Dickinson? Orlov's going to get more ice time in general, but if he's not power play 1, I mean, he wasn't on power play 1 or 2 before. So I don't know. I don't know for sure what it's going to be, but okay. You could do a hell of a lot with Detroit. Try and find who's like a good center value. Points per dollars. Wenberg looks good. Okay. I mean, we could do something like this. Wenberg and play Orlov to correlate. Now we have 5,600. We could do a ton. I mean, you can get a pretty solid guy in here. You could onslaught him with Cedar if you want. So just some thoughts on Detroit. I don't think the ownership is like going to so much be there. I think they'll be owned, but I don't think it's going to be anything crazy, just given that they're not towards the top in value scores. So Detroit looks kind of interesting. Oh, okay, great. Thanks, D Pope. Yeah, I'll shoot you a DM after the show. So there's some thoughts on hand building and what you could do, but keep an eye out for that news. That's going to be important. It's going to be more tougher if you're MMEing, but keep an eye out for it. We're not going to know that till right before lock. So let's go ahead and build. I've got my 222 loaded. I'm going to switch to Goldie's projections. Let's put ownership on. It's not a huge deal because it's not going to use ownership to build the pool. And then I'm going to just ask it for these top grading kind of lineups. These lineups that never grade well, I just don't see why I want them in my pool. I'll get some plus EV ones, as I always say, but I'll get more and more that are negative EV. And I only get 5,000 lineups on an 8-game slate. That's nothing. So I want as many candidate lineups as I could build because I don't get a lot of shots at it. So that's how I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to allow the 3-mans and stuff. It's just not my thing. It's way tougher to find EV that way. So it's going a little slower because I put constraints on it. But that's okay. Get it going. So let's see if any news popped up or any teams doing afternoon skate. Nope. Rangers power play as expected. Beecher, Chatfield, Will Borgen news. No, I think too much to look out for. But those are consequential news items if you're MMEing. So keep an eye out. Okay, we've got 5,000 built. I am curious to see at this point in the day who I land on. I don't know what this calculating thing is that it always does. Calculating what? We already built the lineups. Tell me, Sabres. Okay. Let's go ahead and whoops, why did I put it on uniques? That's fine. We don't need it. It doesn't matter because we're not building a portfolio. And we do not want Saber score. We want to see what our top ROI lineup is. And this is the SaberSim process I do 10 minutes before lock that gets me on the lineup I'm playing. Utah with Lowry, Mercer, and Shakir Mukhamadullin. I don't know how to pronounce that. But why not? Min priced. Using all of it. Utah power play stack. So if this were 10 minutes before lock, it's Utah power play stack or bust. Look at this huge ROI. No, if this said 5.2 instead of 52,052.4, if it's at 5.24, that'd be a little bit more realistic. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for those edges, 5% edges is what we can expect. And we're doing good things here. So Utah power play with cheapos everywhere. Cheap goalie, Lowry's cheap, Mukhamadullin is cheap. And you get Mercer kind of up a tier and a half. Why not? Let's see if we had more lineups. Like if our top 10 is all. Sometimes you get a team that just bunches up, and it's like your whole top 10, your whole top 20 is Utah, and it just doesn't want you to play any other team. Yeah, it really wants you to play Utah with a little New Jersey. So this for 10 minutes before lock, I'd have some kind of Utah stack. Now let's see Chicago jumping in here. That could be interesting sometimes because like if a lot of people use SaberSim and they go to Utah. Now here's Jersey. You get the power play stack going with Chicago. Loving Igor today, huh? SaberSim just loving on Igor using Goldie's projections. So, okay. There's a look at it. I'd be doing some sort of Utah stack if it were right now for the 2-2-2 trying to take down that 100K. Why not? Why not? All right. 17th. Was this yesterday? Yeah. Today is the 18th. Yes. All right. We just ran one for the sake of the show. In the hip check, we want to look at the Clapper 5 Max and the Enforcer. Max 4 check. Enforcer, okay. Let's see what your Sklansky box look like, T Pope. What's your username on DraftKings? Is it to Pope? Yeah. Okay, so the EV was not great. What kind of stacks did you play? All uniques, that's good. But that could be deceptive because if you use a different projection set, I assume you use Goldie's projections. I'm not sure though. Did you use Goldie's or SaberSim's, T Pope? Let's sort this. A, B, C, D. D, A, right? should come up in DA. I don't know why you're not coming up here. DA. It's If we sort this way, you're in here. So we could see your overall portfolio, but for some reason I can't. I know you can't search this way, which is fine, but they're in alphabetical order. DA is not coming up. Kinda frustrating. Well, let me know if you see it, because I really am curious now. Oh, here it is. It didn't sort alphabetically. Oh, or it's doing something with the lower cases. Okay. 4352, 435252. Did you use Goldie's projections, D-Pope? If you're still watching, let me know. So I doubt you'd get that kind of that kind of EV if you were using SaberSim's projections. But with Goldie's, it makes perfect sense. The other thing, what teams did you play? Okay, I want to. Does this highlight all of yours? No. This is an annoying search mechanism that SaberSim has. They got to get better at this. Okay. Ugh. Then it takes it all. Forget that. Thompson. Okay, so you've got the Florida. You've got the Florida with Montreal. Anaheim, Vancouver. Columbus, Boston. I mean, you're pretty diverse. Here's another Columbus. It may be that it's just like too much Columbus and too much Florida chalk, maybe. Maybe that's why it didn't grade well, didn't like it. But again, it's perfectly normal given that you're using a different projection set. So what was the other one? The clapper. Clap on, clap off. Okay. This is the one you won. Same case. Did you play the same? You did the same 5 lineups, or did you have different lineups? You kind of glance at it. I won't be able to tell though. That's going to be tough to remember. Let's see what did grade well. Like, is there? I mean, I get why you would want to get off that not grading well, but I don't think that's the right way to go. Florida's seems pretty diverse. Maybe it thinks like too much. I don't know. It just didn't like. I don't know why they didn't grade well, but they did not grade well. But that's okay because especially if you use Goldie stuff. Is that your? Okay. Let's see what graded the best. I mean, I still think, like we've been seeing, it's going to be highly correlated lineups. And then you get a 4-2-2 in there. But mostly 4-3s, 6s, 5s, 5-2s, looking really strong. So if you want to know what grades the best in these kind of things, we see it day in and day out. It comes from correlation. let me click here to the single entry. Here we go. Here we go. Five two 4-3 4-3. There's another 4-2-2. 4-3 4-3 5-2 5-2 4-3. Another 4-2-2. But correlation is king. You don't see any 3-mans towards the top. Here you get your first one, a 3-2-2 with Swayman, SaberSim Darling. Swayman. SaberSim just projects him really well for some reason. But okay, that's all I got for today. Big contests. Should be a lot of fun. Check out TrueDFS.com. Like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out. When you check out TrueDFS.com, you can get started with a trial, or you can get started with the promo code NBA2526, and that's all caps. And that promo code really gets you, it gets you 30% off, and you end up paying less for SaberSim than you would going through SaberSim. But you also get the premium Discord. You get Goldie's projections, Sheets' projections. You get the pay dirt model for DFS and betting. So there's a ton you get on top of that, and you'd end up paying less for your first month. So check it out. And yeah, that's all I got for today. If you're playing the 2-2-2, good luck. If you're not, good luck in whatever contest you're in. Hopefully we're talking about another takedown.